Hey guys, today is January the 22nd of 2022, and it was an ugly day in the markets. Am I surprised? No. Were we caught off guard? No. My subscribers were aware what could be a possible outcome? Yes. I'm not going to make this video too long. Just going to cover the simple stuff. This is the monthly chart of Cameco. Look at these wicks. September, October, November. This is not bad. The wick from the bottom that was buying. January, you had the Kazakhstan chaos somewhere around here. You had all this bullish news coming around here. And look at the price action on the monthly chart. You failed the 200 or closed or below it, if you want to say it. But this is a month of January, so we got a couple of days more to go. But right now it's below it. This was a good support area. Above the 20, the 100, and the 50. We go into the weekly. Make this smaller. You know what really impressed me and maybe surprised me really good was the Elliott wave theory. I really wasn't really too into it when I looked into that theory. I just kind of saw it. It was just kind of, you really have to count right. And who knows what you're picking and stuff like that. And I wasn't really too interested in learning it or applying it in my trading strategies. But I said, let me give it a shot. Because there's so many of these Elliott guys out there worrying that this works and it's great. I said, all right, I'm going to apply it on this Cameco and see how it plays out. And looking at it, as of right now, if this is the perfect 5-wave structure that I've ever seen, or I will ever see, this is probably it. Like, I couldn't confuse it, even if I wanted to, the waves on this, using Elliott wave theory. So what did surprise me? This really surprised me. How good it counted everything right now. So far, right now. This is on the weekly chart. Cameco just hit the 50 SMA on the weekly. So it's going to be interesting now if we are going to do an A, B, C down, or is this going to be a fail new low and then go up? These are the things you have to be kind of pondering in your mind. What could be possibly the next move? Is this 50 SMA on the weekly is going to hold? Is this level going to hold right here? Or we're going to push lower? There's possible targets I have to the downside. There's that 1808. There's also that 61.8, which is at 1284. 200. That's even the 100 SMA. And then this swing pivot low here. Support, which is 1544. And even this one, 1808. So there's a few possible targets to the downside. Let's look at the daily. And you can see that we failed. We failed it here. And then the next day, we regained it and went higher. We failed it Friday. Could this play out? That's possible. The Rick rules and the investors and the bottom feeders will all show up Monday, Tuesday. We might have this rally again. That's possible. Buy the discount, buy the dip, buy the dip, buy the dip. What about if you buy the dip and it continues pushing lower? What's the game plan for that? Here's a possible target, even with a date. 27th and the February 9th. This is 1838 all the way to 19, somewhere around here. Here's a trend line. Maybe you probably see it on the weekly. Here's a nice trend line. Nice buying opportunity where we get down there. let's say from here, give it another week, February, first week of February, we get down there, last week of March, if this really gets like a flash crash, this is a nice level to get in. This would be a nice buy the dip, if you ask me, off this trend line. This area right here. The ones that are not that really worried about this whole chaos right here are the people that bought all the way down here. All these buyers here are pretty cool. They're level-headed. Everybody that's freaking out, that's in the red, everybody that's up here, especially on the chaos of Kazakhstan, all that right there. Even people that bought around here are nervous. Price caught up to them. These people are kind of watching what they got in here. What could happen? Anyway, let's go back to the daily. Those are key levels you want to watch going into the future. But the question still remains, are we going to go higher from here or we're going to push lower? You do an A, B, C. A lot of the cycles I have indicate February, March as a bottom swing low. We'll see. Let me tell you one thing about cycles. Cycles, when they just show up, sometimes they work and sometimes they don't, as you could tell. Because if they always work, then we will all be millionaires. So sometimes you get good hits and sometimes you don't. If you want to get really, educated and see what really works, then you could just back test it and do statistics and see if it's worth using or not. But when the cycle topped out somewhere around here, September and one in November, the weekly and the dailies, we were around here November 8th. And I put out a video on the 28th saying that there's a possibility that this could probably be the top. But if it isn't, because I wasn't really too sure that it was just going to pull back, that it was going to go higher, this is the target I had. Center of gravity, 30.65 all the way to 28.65. We went as high as 28.49. We barely touched it. That was my target for a wave 5 and then into a correction of 2022. That was my original bias. And I put it out there, and those who took advantage of that information did what they had to do. And then in December, I put out another video, I believe the 18th, somewhere around there, or maybe, I can't remember the date right off the top of my head. But it's on the cover of this video, where I said, is it Santa rally or a dead cat bounce? That was maybe somewhere around here. So we had that Christmas rally, and then we had a dead cat bounce right here. And it pushed lower. And then I made another video, just in case I was wrong, that we were going to continue pushing higher. And I just did it just because there was other techniques and stuff I used that could potentially, work out, and all the other stuff that I was looking at, like Elliott Wave and the cycles, probably were not going to pan out. And I have a habit of doing that just in case I'm wrong. It's always good to have a plan B when your thesis is wrong. And that didn't even work out. There was more overwhelming evidence that there's a greater possibility that there was a turn coming. So the question still remains, will this hold? 3 things could happen. I'll give you the good news. This will hold. Bottom feeders will come in. Investors, Rick Rule, the U community, and we'll trend higher. Next one is we just chop around sideways. The last one is that the ABC is about, C leg is about to start. And it all depends where the C leg is going to find support. I'm going to sign out. I'll leave it there. Just want to do a quick recap on this ugly day. But we knew it was coming. We just didn't know how it would play out. The cycle was just showing you that there's a downturn coming. What's going to cause all this? We don't know. Change of psychology, could be a lot of things. News events. But whatever happens, happens. But the cycle forewarns you. I'm going to sign out. I'll see you again using double Gann price and time technical analysis.